Under Analyst tab, Analysis tab, uh, Finance Yahoo used to give the 5-year numbers as well, but they're no longer doing it. I guess you have to be on the premium for that. They're giving their growth estimates for the current year and next year. This year, they expect earnings to grow by about 128%. Next year, still a whopping 50%. I mean, underneath are the numbers for the S&P 500 firms. And remember, a big portion of S&P 500 is NVIDIA itself. Despite that, I mean, they're growing at breakneck speeds. Let's look at the same numbers for Microsoft. I mean, it ain't too shabby. It's about 13% over the next 2 years, but that's not too different from what the market is going to do, right? Now it's a totally different story. I mean, if I had access to even more growth estimates, I could calculate this, but I always calculate something called growth adjusted PE. For example, I'm going to start with this. Let's just do a simple exercise. If I had more numbers, I would have done more, but for now, I'm just going to show you. Excel, where are you? Don't leave me. I'll do a simple stuff. I'm going to do price, PE, let's call it trailing PE. And let's see for NVIDIA. I'll do it for both companies, but oh, this is Microsoft. It's, that implies the TTM EPS. You divide the price by trailing PE, 1261. So of course, these are both dollar numbers. And growth one. Yeah, trailing 12 months. Yeah. When I say trailing PE, that's calculated using earnings from the previous 12 months or previous 4 quarters. So let's put in the numbers for what you want to call Microsoft, 1174, 1410. So in a sense, next EPS is going to be current EPS times 1 plus the first year growth, uh, year 2 EPS, or next EPS, next EPS times 1 plus year 2 growth. I'm going to calculate average 2-year forward EPS. So we're basically guesstimating a 2-year EPS. Average of these two numbers. Hence, 2 years, I call this 2-year FPE, forward price earnings, price divided by the average earnings expected over the next 12 years. Next 2 years, I'm sorry. Now, let's do the same thing for NVIDIA. I should actually make a template where you can get these links automatically. I love making templates. 138.50. And let's just make it 55. You know me, I'm going to color those things. And come on, work with me. And 127.93, 49.54. Copy and paste. These are my inputs. You know what color they are. If you don't know, you haven't been watching my lectures. These are calculated numbers. So I'm going to make them actually. And the only reason I'm doing it is for screen readability of the formulas. So the reason God created macro recording. You can actually record all of these and push a single button. Mhm. Now what do? You're gonna invest, all right? Do you invest into NVIDIA or what you wanna call Microsoft? Again, I don't take these numbers that seriously because I'm not sure that 128 is referring to growth that's going to happen in 2025. But assuming it does, it says NVIDIA is much, much cheaper. In fact, if Microsoft is to be correctly priced, this is what we call by valuation using multiples. You use some sort of cohort of stocks that you use as reference. You assume they are correctly priced, then you find out the price at which they would have the same ratio, whatever that ratio is. In fact, let's do this. You know I'm going to make a calculation like this. That's the difference between them. So let's call that diff. Letting the Microsoft price remain the same, I'm going to calculate the price for NVIDIA. That would make their 2-year average forward PE the same. Of course, we can also calculate it directly, but you know me, I'm a civilized person. I like, however simple it is, letting Excel do the algebra for me. So I'm going to solve this diff to be 0 by changing the video price. Home, not home, data, what if analysis, goal seek, to value 0 by changing NVIDIA price. Oops, I think I selected the wrong targets. Yeah, make that 0. Why changing the NVIDIA price? Why is it not happening? Say it again. Okay, let's see. Let's start this at, why is that thing always the same? This is interestingly weird. It actually does not calculate the numbers. These things do change, but this doesn't.